In this video, I will talk about how to safely back up and update your site. There will come a time where things will get outdated. That's just the way it is. WordPress is an open source platform. The software itself and all the plugins and the themes that you install all need to be updated from time to time. The way you can tell this, there's this little icon here. There's also updates here, and sometimes there's also plugins that are telling you. So first, let's make sure you have a backup plugin in place. Let's go to plugins. And if you don't have it yet, just add new and look for Updraft. This one here is a free plugin, and as you can tell, 2+ million active installations. So that's a lot of people with a very great average rating of 5 stars, and it's updated fairly recently, and I can assure you that this is a great plugin. So go ahead and click install now. You may have another plugin. There's a lot of backup plugins out there, but this one, what's neat about it is that it also allows you to restore back to a previous state. Should anything go wrong, then at least you'll be able to one-click restore back to where you were. Also, you may be thinking, but my hosting company provides free backup. Why should I do this? Well, technically you don't have to, but I like to be overly cautious. So instead of just having one backup solution, I think having two is never a bad idea. So now I'm going to activate it. Great. You can follow the little tutorial, but I'm going to skip that for now. I'll just show you how to use this. So go under Settings and then Updraft Plus Backups. The very first thing you want to do is just click Backup Now. And then before you update plugins or anything major, back up your files and your database. Database backs up all of the words, the settings, the paths to the images. The files include the plugins themselves, the WordPress code, the images. This one here was just the location of the images. So it's good to back up both, and before you update plugins, you definitely want to include your files. I'm going to click Backup Now. And then it's just slowly doing its thing here. If you don't have many pages, it won't take too long. You don't really need to pay attention to what it's doing, but if you're bored and like to watch paint dry, then go ahead and read that text. There we go. I've got a pop-up telling me it's done, so I'm good to go now. Should anything go wrong, you can always come back here, Settings, and then hit that blue Restore button. It would bring you back exactly to where you are now. So now I can safely proceed with my updates. So I can start with the plugins, and I'm going to update them one at a time. Yes, it takes a little longer, but if something goes wrong, then at least you know which one went wrong. Now that I've got the green bar, I can proceed with the next one. Okay, so all my plugins are up to date. It still tells me I've got 5 things outdated. So at any time, you can click on this icon here, and it will show you what is outdated. So I also have themes that are outdated. So this is an extra thing, but themes, these are WordPress provided themes, and they will constantly be outdated. You don't need to keep all of those. You only need to keep the one that you use plus a spare WordPress theme. So I'm going to go ahead and make my life easier for years to come by going to themes. And I'm going to delete those I don't need here. So I'm just going to keep the 2020, and I'm going to delete 2019. I'm going to delete 2016. And I'm also going to delete 2017. So if you don't know whether or not you should delete it, don't delete it. Always err on the safe side. But basically, these are built by WordPress. As long as you keep one of them, and they're all called by whatever year, just keep one and then you should be fine. So I'm going to click update this one now. Great. And now I still see here sometimes there's a little bit of a caching issue. It shows me 4, but really it's down to 1 now. So I'm just going to click and update WordPress. It does give you a warning in case you forgot that I told you to back up. It does give you a little warning here. Great, so WordPress updated fine, and I'm seeing this splash screen here. So you may be wondering, how do I know if I broke anything? Well, you would know because there would be a big error message when things go wrong, which is quite rare, but it never hurts to have a backup just in case things do go wrong. So if things had gone wrong, I could go back, click through here, and then go back to my latest backup and hit restore. But how do you know if things are still working? I highly recommend that you navigate, go and look at the front end of your site, and then look at things, see if you broke anything based on what you had before, navigate. If, for example, if your contact form was updated, then you can test recontacting yourself by filling out the form. If your WooCommerce plugin was outdated and you updated it, doesn't hurt to run a fake transaction and then refund yourself if needed. But typically speaking, 99% of the time, plugins will update without problem, but it never hurts to have a backup just in case.